Places to visit in Brazil. São Paulo. São Paulo is the largest city in Brazil with a population over 20 million. This is a cosmopolitan place where you can meet all kinds of people rather than a Latin city. When we arrive at São Paulo, Guarulhos International Airport, we do not require a visa or any flight ticket, and we can easily enter the country. Let's give some practical advice to first-time visitors so that you can easily find your place in the city and not get lost. São Paulo has a highly developed metro network. You can easily reach almost anywhere in the city center by metro. If you calculate in advance which metro station your accommodation is close to, you will be able to reach your accommodation more easily both when you first arrive and when you return to your accommodation after daily excursions. Right after exiting São Paulo Guarulhos International Airport, you will see the city buses with Tatuapé at the door. Tatuapé is one of the centrally located metro stations. You can reach the district. You will stay in the more easily after you reach the metro with the city bus. Then, if you want, you can solve the bus network and other transportation options over time. While touring the city, the subway will usually do your job comfortably. São Paulo is one of the cities in Brazil where income inequality is felt most intensely. One of the side slums called favelas, neighborhoods where people try to live in a dilapidated and very dirty conditions. On the other hand, the high-income people have surrounded their luxury homes with iron bars and barbed wire to protect themselves from the thefts of the poor people here. Whenever you turn your eyes, you see houses like prisons. Even in the center of the city, there are tens or hundreds of homeless people lying on the street. It may take some time to get used to this image. In this city, you can find hostels for every budget, even if it's expensive. You can find clean hostels close to the center. São Paulo attractions. We would never recommend you to go to Brazil and return without seeing this city. If you want to get to know and see people, culture, habits of the country, you have to wander around the streets of the city. In this section, we will provide information and share photos about important places such as São Paulo Cathedral, Bico do Batman, Avenida Paulista, Parque de Ibirapuera. Avenida Paulista, a place with huge buildings and shopping malls on both sides, about 3 kilometers. This long street is closed to vehicle traffic on Sundays and is turned into a carnival place for pedestrians. In addition to concerts, dances, and different entertainments, separate lane roads are open for pedestrians, bicycles, and skateboarders. A beautiful environment where you can spend your entire Sunday. São Paulo Cathedral. The cathedral is located in the part of the city called the Historical Square, quite large and majestic. The main attraction in this square is not the cathedral or other historical buildings, but the incredible number of homeless people lying on the streets. One of the images that surprised us the most in Brazil was here. What kind of income inequality exists in this country? You have to come here and just see it. We're not talking about a few homeless people. Dozens, hundreds of people live in handmade tents in the middle of the streets, on blankets laid on the sidewalks. It won't do you any harm while walking around during the day. They will reach out and ask for money the most, but we say don't stop by this area at late hours. A large bazaar in the style of a flea market is set up in the same square during the day. A nice place to look for gifts. Bico do Batman. There is a street in the city called Bico do Batman, Batman's Alley, a street with enormous graffiti throughout. Already Latin America is a place that has surpassed in this wall art. Wherever you go, you see wonderful drawings. This street is a very pleasant way to walk for those who are interested in this kind of work. We recommend that you stop by at Bico do Batman. Parque do Ibirapuera. This is the most beautiful place of the big metropolis in our opinion. Ibirapuera Park, located on an area of 2 kilometer squares in the heart of the city, a lush environment, a large lake in the middle. It contains bicycle paths, a museum, century-old trees with huge roots and many bird species. A place where you can walk for hours. It's a place that gets packed on the weekends for the sports-loving Brazilian people. There are corners suitable for running, basketball, skateboarding, skating, and football. Very well maintained and immaculate. It is said that around 200,000 tourists are hosted in the park, where concerts and fashion nights are held. It is always open to the public and free of charge. Very close to public transport and metro, we can put it at the top of the list of Brazilian tourist destinations. Rio de Janeiro. Rio is a dream city of Brazil. It's a place that is the apple of the eye of not only Brazil, but all of Latin America. It is 5 and 6 hour highway drive from São Paulo. Rio is a city where income inequality is very sharp. Slums, areas called favelas, are very common, and the houses of the rich people are surrounded by iron bars and high walls like prisons. The strange thing is that even the apartments on the 8th and 10th floors have balconies and windows surrounded by railings. Are you saying that's all? But unfortunately, theft can even reach those dimensions. You already see police vehicles on almost every corner, image that do not suit a city that is a wonder of nature. So, is this city still worth visiting? Is it safe to be a tourist in Rio de Janeiro? Is Rio de Janeiro dangerous? Rio de Janeiro is like a two-faced lover. Beauty whose charm you cannot give up despite all her ugly habits. Even if you hear scary stories all the time, we think that if you follow certain rules in Rio, you can travel comfortably. Apart from this, the places to visit and see in the city are already known. If you don't want to get in trouble by force, Rio promises you great memories. In fact, the most dangerous part of Rio is that it's a bit expensive. Cristo the Redeemer, the symbol of Rio de Janeiro, is the 30-meter-long giant Cristo statue. In fact, we can say that is the biggest symbol of Brazil rather than Rio. It is possible to reach the statue on the top of Corcovado mountain in several ways. At the base of the mountain is an old rail system that runs up and down. You can use this if you want. It is not very comfortable, but it can be a good choice in terms of scenery. Again, there are minibuses that go up from the same area. You can choose minibuses to get out a little faster and more comfortably. Regardless of the route, you will have a cost of approximately $15 for transportation and entrance ticket. Can't I just get out without paying any of this? If you say. If you do, we don't recommend it. If you come to the bottom of the mountain early in the morning and climb a very steep slope for about 2 hours, you can reach the summit for free. But you'll probably leave some of your liver on the road because it's a pretty steep road. If you are in a good condition, there is no problem. In a few hours, you walk restlessly. You can't escape the ticket fee at the entrance to the statue, though you can add it to the list of places to visit in Brazil. A magnificent view awaits you at the summit. All Rio is at your feet. After your struggle to take a photo with the statue in the crowd is over, you watch this view for a long time on one side. Besides its natural beauty, you can more easily see how the rich and poor are separated in the city from this view. Where the skyscrapers end, favelas stretch up to the slopes of the mountains. Sugarloaf. Pão de Açúcar. The second peak of Rio, whose scenery is beautiful as Mount Corcovado. The summit is reached by a 2-piece cable car ride. There are cafes and restaurants on the first hill. If you have time, you can spend some time here. Pretty nice place. Then you get on the other cable car and reach at the farthest point. It has a magnificent view that you can see everywhere in Rio, including the Statue of Christ and the entire coastline. You will have a cost of $20–25 round trip. Unfortunately, it is necessary to spend a little to go to these two peaks in Rio, but compared to Europe, these tickets prices are quite normal for this place. In addition, we recommend that you return to the city center by walking and sightseeing during the descent from these two peaks. You will see Rio and its neighborhoods more closely. Rio de Janeiro beaches. The Rio coast has Copacabana Beach, Ipanema Beach, and Leblon Beach, which stretch one of the others. The most famous is undoubtedly Copacabana Beach, about 4 km long and constantly crowded during the day. Where is Copacabana? This beach is located at the southern tip of Rio, in an area called Zona Sul, walking distance to Cantagalo, Siqueira Campos, and Cardeal Arcovareta stations of the Rio de Janeiro metro. Although Copacabana is notorious, the most beautiful beach in our opinion is Ipanema. It is more preferable place in terms of security as it's cleaner, less dense, and located in the part of luxury hotels. 3 beaches are combined and you can visit all of them on foot. Everywhere along the beach is full of people playing football and volleyball. Football in Brazil is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. Football is a dream come true for these people, most of whom live in favelas and have financial difficulties. It's a bit of an effort to get out of the hole they lived in one day by being like Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, and Kaká. These skills are the biggest capitals in their hands. As such, soccer balls are not missing from every corner in Brazil, especially on the beaches. Santa Teresa, the area in the city center where the famous Rio Carnival is held. Carnival is held in February, but Santa Teresa is always considered the entertainment center of Rio. This is a colorful neighborhood with narrow and winding streets and cobblestones. It has magnificent buildings and a beautiful view. Santa Teresa, also known as Lapa, is one of the most original and enjoyable neighborhoods in Rio. Tijuca National Park. Spread over an area of 32 km square, this park is the largest rainforest in the world in the city. It is necessary to enter the forest, which has walking paths, small waterfalls, and ponds, numerous plants and animal varieties through a guided tour. Because it's a place where you can get lost and encounter poisonous animals. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and turn on the notifications.